I'm welcoming back Becky with me today, Becky Davies. Becky's been with me before. Hopefully you will have heard Becky speak about Trebanog. If you haven't, then take a look at the video because it's a great video. But today I've got Becky back in order to share about Cariad. And before you share about Cariad, Becky, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself, would you?
Yeah, so I'm Becky. I'm originally from Porth in the Rhondda. I now live in Pontypridd. I'm married to Owen, and we've got two little girls, Hattie and Eliza. And I work for Hope Church Rhondda.
Lovely, lovely. Can I ask you, has your dad got over the fact that you've moved from the Rhondda to Ponty yet, or is he still struggling with that?
We're 6 years in, and it's still a struggle.
Oh, okay, okay. You know, I know you. Obviously, I know your dad. Lovely guy. So I hope he doesn't mind me just sort of pulling his leg a little bit there.
Yeah.
So listen, tell us about Cariad. Okay, what is Cariad to start with?
Yeah, so Cariad is an online women's ministry. So I guess we kind of started online and we've branched out a little bit more on that. But yeah, it's a group of women that have just got together online basically, and it's grown more, I guess, than what I expected it to.
Lovely.
Yeah, we're just a Facebook group essentially. But yeah, I think we're probably a little bit more than that now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how we originated as an online community.
Yeah. Tell us what, for our non-Welsh speaking audience, tell us what the word Cariad means, and then tell us also how this vision stirred in you
Yeah.
with regard to, you know, when did you first start to feel that it was that God was stirring something in you? But tell us what Cariad means to start with.
Yeah. So Cariad is love. Yeah, and I guess like that's where it started, was just this like desire in me that just started, like I just felt like God just started stirring in my heart, about like bringing women together. And it was like,
Mm,
I'm not really sure how I can do this. I'm not like a massive influencer or anything like that. I'm just me. And I was just, yeah, just getting this stirring like within me to just bring women together, mainly because I was just like mindful that um that of this need for community, like that there was this sort of like stirring in me personally of my own need for community and
mm,
needing sort of support and encouragement from other people. I'd gone through a really tough time in 2015 in my own life and my personal life. And I was just like acutely aware of the fact that I needed support in that time. I needed people around me, and I guess like yes, it's important that we have like the church to encourage us and to equip us and to be that support system for us. But like I guess on a more intimate level, you need that from the same sex. Like I
mm,
needed that from other women. I needed other women to get alongside me and encourage me and sort of like speak into my life, I guess, in a way that a man couldn't.
mm.
Um, and so I was really conscious of the fact that that's what I needed. And I was just in this place where I was thinking, I'm pretty sure if I need that, then the likelihood is other people need it as well. Other women need that support and encouragement. And I guess even just like not even just on a personal level in terms of like maybe the more intimate details of life, but even just on a like motivational level of like reading scripture, like just somebody to come alongside you and say, hey, come on, let's open our Bibles together. Like
Brilliant.
let's like encourage one another and spur one another on. And I guess the sort of verse that sort of started that in me was Hebrews 10:24, which says, let us consider how we may spur
Mm.
one another on towards love and good deeds. And I was like, that's it, like that's what I need. But I feel like this is probably more than just me, that this is actually maybe something that other people need as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Do you know, I've noticed something, a common theme really in between what you've already shared and what you
Yeah,
shared in when Mammy and Me, when you were being led
yeah,
to lead that. Your
yeah,
need for community, your
yeah,
need for community
yeah,
of you know, sort of whether it be Christian or whatever, but your need for
Yeah.
community and people around you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a brilliant driving force that you have to take these sort of visions forward. I'm going to ask you, okay, to share with us what you did. You started to feel this stirring. You recognized a need.
Yeah.
I want you to share what you did with it, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
why I wanted to share that, because if there's anybody listening to this now,
Yeah.
and they've got a stirring for something in their heart, and they feel God is, you know, stirring something, and I want you to do this or whatever. I think if you share what you did once you felt that stirring and recognize that need, I think that will help others to take whatever is stirring them forward. So share with us, Becky, what you did with it,
So I think I knew really clearly that it was God speaking. I think like this wasn't like an idea that just came to me. I think like that was a really important thing to like know that actually this is like God stirring me. Like this is not just a nice idea or just something that I felt
and that's
like,
key,
oh,
isn't it? Sorry to interrupt. That's key.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
foundational. Yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like once I felt that stirring in me, I think it was like, okay, God, like what do you want me to do with this? And then the next thing for me was to share it with a few people that I trusted, friends that were like close to me. So I shared it with my two good friends, my best friend Caitlin and my good friend Beth. And we just like, yeah, we just spoke about it together. I just said, like, girls, I really feel this sort of like stirring about like bringing all these women together, but I have no idea, like, I have no idea what that means, or, you know, I don't know where to start. And I was also conscious of the fact that, like, I didn't want this to be like a me thing. I really didn't want this to be like, oh, this is Becky Davies Ministries, or like, you know, that's not what I'm about. I really don't want, like, guard my heart in that, God. Like, I really don't ever want that to be me. Like, I don't, it's not about like trying to build a platform for myself. And I was really conscious of like, if I start this, does it look like I'm trying to make something of myself? You know, am I trying to like build a platform for myself? And I really was like absolutely against that. I really didn't want that. And so yeah, I just spoke to the girls and I just said, look, you know, do you think that this is something that other people would appreciate? Like, would you appreciate it? Like, if I started this thing, and where's the best place to start, I suppose. And I'm more of a Facebook user. Like, I think maybe you know, I'm like in my late 30s. Facebook is like a safe space for me. I don't, you know, I'm not a big fan of Instagram. I don't even get me started on TikTok and all of that business.
You've
Like, I'm not.
grown up with Facebook. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Exactly. I've grown up with Facebook, so that's like my comfort zone. And I think like the thing I feel about Facebook is that it's more conversational, in that you can create groups and you can have these conversations, whereas opposed to like things like Instagram's all about the show, and it's like posting photos and all of that sort of stuff. And I was
I
like,
wouldn't know. Sorry.
anyway.
Yeah, I've heard.
I just thought like Facebook is more of a conversational place, and it's what I know. So I just thought, right, okay, let's just go for it. You know, the girls are really encouraging and saying, you know, they would appreciate it personally, but they also know that, you know, there might be other people that would appreciate it as well.
Brilliant.
So yeah, we started a Facebook group. And first of all, I was like, right, okay, I'll just add people that I know, other Christian women that I know. And I thought, like, you know, maybe this will be a group of maybe, I don't know, 20 women, you know, people that I know. And then I thought, right, well, I'll say in it, you know, feel free to add other people in, people that you think might, you know, benefit from it, people that might feel encouraged by it. Just add in people, you know. And so yeah, me adding the people I knew, maybe there was maybe 50 people, 50 women that I was like,
okay,
in Christian circles, you know, Christian women that I knew, not necessarily people that I was like good friends with, but people that, you know, you connect with on Facebook, that, you know, friends of friends and all of that sort of thing. So I just added people in. I just said, look, you know, I'm just looking to start a community of women that just want to encourage one another and build one another up and spur one another on, to love God and others, and then good deeds as well. You know, like, let's hear about what people are doing, in terms of like ministry stuff and like day-to-day stuff and what's God doing in your life and how are you sharing that with other people.
Lovely.
So yeah, it started like that and yeah, it's
Okay.
grown.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just, for those who are thinking, okay, I've got this stirring in my heart. Okay.
Mm.
What you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're saying is, number one, make sure that it's from God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number two,
Yeah.
share it with trusted friends, not with
Yeah.
anybody, but with trusted friends.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, actually take a step then. Do something
Yeah.
with it, like you set
Yeah.
up the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I
those,
think, sorry, just to jump on the trusted friends thing as well.
yeah.
I think they have to be people that you know will tell you no as well. Like,
Oh, important.
actually,
Oh,
that's not a good idea. Like, I think that
yeah.
if I was just sharing it with yes people,
Yeah.
people that I think, well, you know, they like me, so they're gonna encourage me and tell me to go for it. Then I'm just it's that itching ears thing, and it's like wanting to you or you want to you sort of thing, you know. So you
Yeah.
go to people that you think, oh, they'll say yes because they like me or because they think, you know, that there's something in it for them or whatever.
Or you'll be upset if they say no.
Yeah, trying to, like, you know, guard your feelings and stuff, which is
Yeah.
nice, but it's not always helpful. So yeah, I think like
Great advice.
I think with my friend Caitlin in particular, we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, she would say, I'm not really sure about that, Beck. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. And also look for it within my own sort of interest as well, you know, looking out for me. I think she would tell me as well if maybe this isn't something that you have got time for right now, or that you've really got, you know, you've got enough going on with kids and whatever, like, yeah,
Brilliant.
maybe it's not the
Brilliant.
best thing to be doing.
Brilliant. So hopefully that will help people, you know.
Yeah.
Make sure it's from God, share with trusted friends, and then take a step, provided it's
Yeah.
the right step to take. So
Yeah.
it started with a Facebook page, you know, very
Yeah.
small. Tell us
Yeah.
what Cariad looks like now. So when did you set up that Facebook page? How many years?
So we started it, again, this is like where I know that God was involved, because we started in March 2020, and it
COVID,
was before the lockdown. So it was never meant to be a lockdown group. It wasn't you know, it wasn't like, oh, we'll start this in lockdown because
Gosh.
now there's a need, let's meet the need. It was
Gosh.
before there was a lockdown. And then lockdown happened, and yeah, and it just became a really, really, really helpful tool, I think. Not, you know, for me, but also I think for other people as well.
Brilliant.
I think it was really necessary, because community was absolutely vital when you couldn't be in community. So
yeah. I'm sure there's another discussion to be had as to how you coped, struggled, or whatever in lockdown, because you are, like I just said, you're a community sort of, you've got a community heart. But we won't go into that, okay, Becky? We won't go into that. So you're talking about 4 years ago now. Facebook page, what's it like now? What does Cariad look like now?
So we created a group as opposed to a page, because we wanted to keep it like closed. We wanted to make sure that it was because we wanted to create a safe space for people to be able to share, you know, and to be able to like talk about personal things. So we kept it as a private group within Facebook, and so every week there's devotional shared, so that's something that we've kept throughout. So Monday and Friday we share a devotional, so somebody from within the group shares something. We try to make it, again, because this is not the Becky Davies show, this is not my ministry, this is you know, a community.
You don't have to persuade us, Becky. You know, we've got that message. It's not a Becky Davies show. Bless you. Bless you.
Not. So,
yeah.
But I want to make it so that other people feel free to share things, you know, that like, so we put out, this is our theme for the next month. Who wants to share, you know? So we'll say, okay, we're talking about the parables of Jesus, for example, and then people will sign up to covering one of the parables of Jesus. So it's open for anybody to share.
That's a sign of a good leader, you know. It's a sign of a good leader. No, honestly, now, when you are giving others the opportunity and empowering others to be part of what's happening rather than just one up front, which you are not. You are the leader, but you're a facilitator. You bring people together and then you empower people. And that's a very strong leadership quality. So, I thought I'd sort of just say that. So you've got the Facebook group, then you've got conferences just starting, and tell us about that.
Yeah, we started our first conference was 2 years ago. So we started in Robina Baptist Church. Shout out to them, who took us in. I think we sort of underestimated like how many people would want to come to a conference. So we
Brilliant.
we started out, we were thinking, we need a space that maybe holds 100 women, and then we sold 100 tickets and we were like, oh no, we're gonna have to get another venue. So we reached out to Robina like, we can fit you in. So we were, I think for our first conference we were about 280.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Awesome. Which really took us by surprise. We were really surprised by how many people wanted to come along. And then last year we were in Highfields, and there was around 400, I think, for our second conference. So, and we've just this week announced our next conference, which is in November, and that is going to be at Glenwood Church.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing, just that thought and that stirring and that desire, that God gave you, and you took a step of faith, and it's growing to this is absolutely amazing and so encouraging.
Really encouraged.
So if there's anybody listening who's feeling a stirring for something else, and think, is this you, Lord? The potential is there if it's God to make a real difference. So how is this group benefiting women? Just share that. I'm sure you've got lots of stories, but sort of, how are women benefiting from it?
I'd like to think that they're benefiting in lots of ways. I think like just purely from the encouragement of women sharing with women and being honest and being vulnerable with one another. I just think like we've really worked hard, and I think it's the Holy Spirit that has done it, is to create a space that is safe for people. And I think that was always really important to me, because I'm a wear my heart on my sleeve kind of girl, I like to be honest. I think it's really important. I spent a long time sort of as a Christian pretending that I was like this good Christian girl, and actually I wasn't. And I think like it took me sort of getting to a point where I was like, really like, okay, God, like I need to be more real now, like this, I can't hide anymore, I can't pretend, I can't be, acting like I'm this when actually all this is going on, and I need help and I need support. And so the vulnerability for me was a really big thing. And I think I had to model that within the group as well, and be like, I'm going to be really open with you and honest with you, so that you can be open and honest as well. So I think that really like helped massively. And I get messages a lot from people, appreciating my honesty, but also appreciating the sort of like the openness within the group as well, where they can share and not feel judged. Like that's really important for me, because that's something that is a real bugbear of mine, is like this whole thing of like, that Christians are judgmental, and I'm like, let's break that, let's make sure that isn't the case within us. And also let's take that then to our churches as well, like let's not just see that this is an issue, let's do something about it and be the change we want to see in our churches as well. Like let's change these things. We look in even this week about James, I shared on Tuesday from James chapter 2 about favoritism and stuff, and I was like, let's change that. Like let's make sure that we're not, that we treat the pastor the same as we treat the cleaner, and let's treat the
important,
we treat the deacon, all of these things. That I'm like, let's be the change. You know, if we see that as an issue, then let's do something about it. So vulnerability is really important. And I think like giving people the opportunity to share as well, because there'll be women in the group that want to step out and have something that they want to share. And I think like, let's create a space where they can, you know, where people are going to support them and say like, go for it. Like you're in a safe space. Nobody's going to criticize you or tear you down because you've shared something. Like, let's encourage one another. And so, yeah, like creating a space for them, that's really important as well. We've started something called Cariad communities, which is launching. The first one's launching in April.
Hang on a minute. Cariad communities.
Cariad communities, yeah,
okay,
which is where we're gonna meet in smaller communities. So conference is like the main thing where everyone's gonna get together. And then Cariad communities we're launching. So we've got 5 launching this year. So we're going Caerphilly in April, we're going Rhondda in May, we're going
Cowbridge.
Yes, Cowbridge, we're going in, I believe, May as well. And then we're doing Newport and Cardiff. So smaller communities, but also again trying to encourage women from those areas to come together, pray, worship, read the word together, like encourage one another in person. So that'll be on a smaller scale. But again, what we want to encourage is unity. We want people to come together from those different churches in those areas and saying, right, okay, we're in this together, girls. Like, let's pray, let's like encourage one another together and be spurred on together for our communities.
It's amazing. I'll tell you what's going through my mind, Becky, as I'm listening to you, is if you're a Christian woman who is following Jesus, has got a heart for Jesus, who loves Jesus, who knows Jesus loves them, my thought is, why wouldn't you want to connect with this, you know, with this group, with this movement? It's more of a movement now than a group, you know. Why wouldn't you? So, you know, I think it's going to just grow and grow and grow. This, but you know, the vulnerability that you touched on, that's really an important thing, because as people in general, it's difficult to show your vulnerabilities, okay? But when a leader shows their vulnerabilities, shows their weaknesses, it's actually a strength, because those who are listening to that leader and following that leader can actually see, okay, they're normal, they're not on a pedestal, they're not, you know, just because they speak, just because they open the word, they're actually normal, and they've got their struggles, and you know, they're making themselves vulnerable. So this vulnerability thing, I think you've touched on something really, really important there. You have. So from a little thought that you shared with friends, that you started a Facebook group, is actually just exploding, really, isn't it? It's exploding. So yeah, brilliant. What about the future then, Becky? What are your hopes for the future for Cariad? What's on your heart? Can you share, or is that sort of?
So we've just, like I said, this week we just announced about the next conference. Cariad Communities has been recently announced, and actually last week we announced that we're starting a podcast as well, which is really exciting. So we're going to be busy with a podcast. So myself, Meg Tynan, who I know you know, and another girl, Abby Williams, who works with Cardiff Family, who's an absolute ledge, who I met through netball, playing netball together. We're the ones that are facilitating the Cariad ministry. And so we're looking at starting a podcast now over the next couple of months, just getting people in, having chats about things. So that's going to be called Cariad Catch-Ups. I like alliteration. I don't know if you
Cariad Catch-Up. This is great.
Catch-ups. I'm a teacher, so like, you know, that's my heart. My heart is, I love a bit of English alliteration. So yeah, the catch-ups are going to be hopefully launched in the next couple of months as well, getting people on, talking about life, talking about things. The thing that I'm most passionate about is the Bible. Like, it's the thing that excites me more than anything else. I love talking about the word. I love having conversations with people about Jesus. Like, I will literally sit and talk for hours about Jesus, because he's the most important person in my life. Like, why wouldn't I want to talk about him, all day long? So yeah, we're excited to start that as well. So there's quite a few things that are going on, but the thing that we want to keep doing is encouraging women, like encouraging them to walk with God, encouraging them in the part that they play in their church. We really, we champion the local church. We want to encourage people to be in church, to be involved in church, to serve in church, to be playing their part in the body of Christ. Like, that's absolutely vital. And we want to make sure as well that that women are, just, I guess, going about their daily lives, keeping Jesus at the center, like in everything, like that, whether that's like bringing up the kids, whether that's going to work, whether that's in their marriage. We did relationships last week, talking about some really difficult stuff, talking about like life after divorce, talking about dating, like all of these things that maybe people don't talk about those things enough. But again, we want to talk about those things. We want to encourage people, keep Jesus at the center, whatever you're going through, whatever stage of life you're in, like Jesus, hold on to Jesus no matter what, like make him the center of your life, and making sure that the things that we're going through, we go through with him, like absolutely clinging on to Jesus. There's that saying about, like, if you're clinging on, make sure it's to the hem of his garment, like just clinging on, like that's just so important. And there's people are going through some stuff, like there's some tough things. We get a lot of posts that are really, really tough stuff going on, and we want to encourage people always to just do it with Jesus, like make sure that he's with you all the way. And for us as well, we want to support people, and we want to make sure that they feel like there's people there that are praying. There's so many like proper prayer warriors in this group. Like, people will post a prayer request, and you guarantee that there will be women that are on that straight away, and they're praying, and they're asking for updates on things, and praying for people, praying them through things, not just like in the moment, but continuing praying people through situations that they're going through. And so again, that's like really important to us, is making sure that we keep that community. I want us to be able to branch out and do these other things, but I want to keep the heart of what we're doing the main thing. We want to make sure that we're sticking with the vision of spurring one another on to love and good deeds.
Brilliant. I'm gonna ask you in a minute now, just to share with us how people can get in touch if they're interested in this group. But before I do that, Becky, just listening to you this morning now, okay, you're an amazing ambassador for Christ, okay? You're an ambassador for Jesus, but you're an ambassador for the things that you put your heart to, that God has called you to. You're an ambassador. I know that you're a community and outreach worker for Hope Church Rhondda, and I haven't come across your work there, but I'm sure you're an amazing ambassador for them, and then for Mammy and me. But this now, if you could choose somebody to be a front and ambassador for something like Cariad, then you're the one. So you're an amazing ambassador, honestly. So tell us, if there's somebody listening to this, women, obviously, men can listen to it, but if women are interested in hearing more about this group, or even being part of the group, how do they go about it, Becky?
It's interesting that you say that about men, actually, because quite a few men have said that they want a Cariad for men. Okay. So if there's anyone listening that's thinking, oh, okay, this might be an idea for something like this for men,
well, yeah, so it's out there now. Yeah.
So yes, in terms of like people reaching out, you can obviously like reach out to me, like send me a message or whatever, if there's something that that you want to maybe share on Cariad, or if it's just like, oh, can you tell me a little bit more about what you do and all of that sort of stuff, reach out to me. I'm open, like, you can chat to me. So
if there's somebody who's not a part of the Facebook group, right? Yeah, they can send you a message through that group. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And what's the name of the group? What should they search on?
It's just called Cariad. So it's a private group, so you won't be able to like go into the group unless you you join.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, like
Just send a
anyone
message
can
first.
join.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just click on join, and we ask like 3 sort of like membership questions, just asking, are you a follower of Jesus? Like, do you go to church? Where do you go? Those sort of questions. Just fill those in, and we'll approve you and let you in.
brilliant. Because you need those filters in order to
Yeah,
let people in.
definitely.
Understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, and other people, you can invite other people into the group as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and
People who are already in the group,
yeah,
invite
so
people in. Okay.
absolutely,
So
yeah,
there's 2 ways of doing it. Either send a message and ask, or
yeah,
if you know somebody already in the group, you can
yeah,
ask them, "Oh, will you invite me?" And
yeah.
if they say no, you got a problem then. I mean, oh, what's wrong with
Then
anyway.
we need to do like a whole series on like inclusivity or something, just to like change
Yeah.
people's hearts.
So listen, it's been great to listen to you again. You're so enthusiastic, honestly, and it's natural. You're bubbling, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So you know, there might be occasion again when I'll give you a shout, and you can
Well, I've
tell me.
started something else.
Well, not quite, but just to bring us up to date with Trebanog and bring us up to date with this. Yeah, but please, if you start something else, please let me know. I'd be interested. Yeah. And I could even get an exclusive. You heard it here first on this YouTube channel. So you never know. Listen, brilliant, Becky. Thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to say before we sort of bring this to a close, or have you said everything that you want to say?
I think I've said everything. You don't want to set me off, otherwise I'll keep going.
Yeah, brilliant. So thanks very much. Okay, and bless you and bless this work. And I will look forward to hearing more about this. So yeah, thanks very much, Becky. Okay,
No problem.
bye bye.